one avenue to be attracting patients without having to always be marketing is to bring in new patients from provider referrals. And yet I often hear from holistic health practitioners that, I don't think medical doctors take me seriously or my profession seriously, or they might feel a bit intimidated. And so from having worked in different settings, hospital, outpatient, clinic setting, have seen the insides of the FDA and at Merck, I've seen what inspires medical doctors to refer and what doesn't. So can give you the shortcuts to that. There are many benefits to attracting referrals from medical doctors because it's one of the few avenues that when you put in place, you could be getting referrals even 3 months from now, a year from now, without having to constantly be marketing. And patients who come from provider referrals are also more likely to start care and stick with it too, and listen to your recommendations. So it's just nice to work with patients who are referred by doctors. So let's talk about unlocking the power of medical doctor referrals. I must say that I used to feel a bit intimidated by medical doctors also. I worked on Native American reservations and different kinds of pharmacies outside of Native American reservations for many years. And so I come from the experience of having worked as a pharmacist for over 10 years. And I noticed that there are certain situations that made medical doctors refer versus not. So the concern that medical doctors won't refer because they may not be very open to alternative medicine or other holistic options, integrative care. What I will say is that it is true, unfortunately. There are some doctors who will refer and some who won't, some who are closed-minded, some who are open-minded. I will even say that over the years, I've noticed that some medical doctors, certainly they practice conventional medical care, but then they're secretly open to alternative options and use alternative options themselves too. I think many medical doctors went into it to help people also, and then end up realizing that getting trained in the profession ends up having them be really good at diagnosis and then also give a lot of medications. And so there are a lot of physicians who also aren't as aligned with the idea of just giving people pills too, because they also went into it to help people too. And so, but if you feel concerned that medical doctors aren't open to alternative options, I will say that for one, you could be getting referrals from other kinds of conventional medical practitioners too. So there are nurse practitioners, nurses, and many times, for example, nurse practitioners are more open to integrative options than even medical doctors are as well. So there are plenty of conventional medical kind of practitioners who would be open to referring. The other thing too is that there are some providers who are open and some who aren't. I remember working in a pharmacy once, and there was a pharmacy student who made a comment to me about homeopathy. And I remember this so clearly, like it was just yesterday, where he said, "Oh, those things are just like, they don't have anything in them. How could they possibly work?" And he was pretty much talking down about homeopathy. And what I thought was interesting is that he didn't know too much about it, but made different judgments about homeopathy. And so there are many medical doctors, conventional medical practitioners, pharmacists, nurses, nurse practitioners who might feel that way too, only because they don't know. And so it's really up to us to educate them about it, about your approach, so that that way they can understand and be more knowledgeable about it than just make up their mind because of misunderstandings or just simply because of not knowing much and having been taught much about it. Medical doctors have thousands of patients in their practices, and they would refer if they knew about you and also trusted that you could help their patients with outcomes. Imagine if even 3 providers referred you 1 or 2 patients a week. What would that do for your practice? That can be anywhere between 3 to 6 new patients a week. That can be anywhere between 3 to 6 new patients a week, which can be very significant and can totally add up. And so it is one of the few approaches that can work really well to bring in a flow of patients who are ready. Patients trust and listen to their medical doctors. And so when you are referred by a medical doctor, they're more likely to start care and also listen to your advice and follow it. So it's just much nicer to work with someone like that than someone you might feel like you need to convince, or someone who just comes to you from online or an ad or something like that, who might just come in once and then disappear and never come back. So this is something I'm going to be getting into more in an upcoming free masterclass on how to attract 3 to 5 new patients a week, even from medical doctor referrals. And so go ahead and register now. And I can't wait to see you on it and help you. And for those of you who have an interest in attracting medical doctor referrals and aren't really sure how best to go about it, then feel free to DM me, and I'm more than happy to see how we can help you with getting this off the ground. And that way you start attracting medical doctor referrals and ongoing referrals as well.